Alright, hey, well, welcome ladies and gentlemen. Sean here with Blue Ridge Silverhound, and we are actually going to take a stab at this one. I don't know if you picked it up, but my voice is a little bit raspy. Still haven't quite recovered from the weekend, but the show must go on. So we do have a Monday market report for the week ending January 14th, 2024. Yes, we are uploading it on the 15th, but we base everything off of the data that we find on greatcollections.com. And their sales end every Sunday. So this Sunday was the 14th. And we are going to be looking at some of the most relevant, hardest hitting, post 1900 modern era of graded coins that have sold here in the last 7 days. All coming courtesy of greatcollections.com. Of course, we are hot off the heels, ladies and gentlemen, from the Florida United Numismatist Show, which is the biggest coin show to kick off the year each and every single year. This was in Orlando, Florida. If you had the opportunity to go, I heard it was rocking. It was pretty busy, and yeah, that just means the market is back on. So what do we got going on here? Well, we have quite the lineup. We got 22 sales listings to kind of gloss over, talk a little bit about these coins, why they sold for what they did, but also kind of gauge a little bit of the market. You know, are these sales going up? Are they going down? What's hot? What's not? The typical stuff that we normally bring up during the Monday market reports. And typically, a lot of the coins do come in graded. Great Collections, I know that they prefer to have things graded when they're sold. It's more reassurance for each of the buyers and the sellers, for that matter, for ensuring quality, of the coins that are being sold and legitimacy and everything like that. All the good stuff. So, yeah, something to look forward to. Again, pretty busy week, but you wouldn't know it by looking at this list. Yeah, we are back on in 2024. Brand new 2024 coins are hot on our heels right now. So there's a lot to love coming from the numismatics market currently. So we do have a little bit of a calendar of events kind of notification here. Save the date on Friday, December 19th. Just kidding. No, January 19th. I can't believe I did that. So this Friday, January 19th at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 Eastern, we are going to schedule a U.S.-type coin showcase auction. But most importantly, our first one of the year, we're going to be giving away a few copies of the brand new Cherry Picker's Guide to rare die varieties. This is the newly released 6th edition, Volume 2, which covers, for the most part, dimes and quarters. It's a very popular book today, and they're not cheap by any means. They're $40 books, and we're going to be giving away a couple copies of that, in addition to a couple copies of the Strike It Rich with Pocket Change book by Ken Potter as well. So yeah, 4 great giveaways coming up here this Friday, in addition to a US type coin auction as well. So come join. I'll have the referral link down below if you want to join up. You'll get actually something different. They're doing something different for the sign up fee. You can get anywhere from $10 to $200. It's randomized. So that's a pretty good incentive. It used to be just a flat $15. But you have the prospect of possibly hitting $2 in store credit that you could use right away. All right. So, come join us this Friday. Hope to see you guys there. All right. Let's go ahead and jump in. What has sold here this week? We're going to kick things off here with a pair of Proof Lincoln cents. 1977S is the first one up to bat. This is a beautiful, perfect graded coin. Perfect in the sense that it ended with a 70 grade by PCGS. And also, it's a deep cameo contrasted coin. It's got that beautiful, very nice frosty devices on the coin that's offset by generally really nice dark mirrored fields. This one has the best combination of everything. It's wildly clean. I don't see any sort of marks or anything like that. And for a coin to grade out 70, it has to be free from all those things. So this one right here, top pop grade, no doubt about it, but there have been a number of them that have graded 70. Still, this one ended up selling for $1,687.50. And here's our other proof Lincoln cent. This one a little bit older, coming in as a 1971S this time around. But take a look at the grade. That's assigned to this one. PCGS actually gave this one a 69. And it's also got deep cameo. Now, here's the interesting part of it. 71 San Francisco proof coins, there was no guarantee that every single coin was going to have cameo, let alone deep cameo. It was almost as bad as some of the 1960s dates. If we were looking, for any proof 68 coins, that could be a little bit tough. 69 as well. This one right here has that deep cameo designation, and it's a 69. It's not a perfect 70. So, this is also still a rarity, but it's that deep cameo that really sets this one apart from the crowd. This one sold for $1,828.12. Coming up next here, the coin is not actually rotated, as a mid-air. It's just rotated in the holder. If you saw it in person, you would see. This is a 1966 Lincoln Memorial cent. This is one that we haven't seen pop up on the auction scene in probably about a year or so. Top pop wise, we haven't seen one in a while. This one here is a mid-state 67 red. As you can see, it's a very nice coin, and I would venture a guess that, the white kind of like fingerprint looking thing is on the holder and not actually on the coin, as it's suggested here. Really pretty example. Again, this is made and tailored for registry set participants. No one in their right mind should ever invest the kind of money that these coins typically sell for. It's just, something that you never know when it's going to craterize, because more examples are going to grade 67 in the future. But nonetheless, this is a big one here. We haven't seen this in a while, and because of that, it sold for $3,000.38. So, that's a pretty hefty price tag. Again, if you could think about all of the other different types of coins that you could, spend $3,000 on, this one should never be on top of your list unless you are a dedicated Lincoln cent registry set owner. So there you go. There's really not a whole lot more else that I can say about this coin. Just do not spend this kind of money because you have a top pop coin. 67 plus could be lurking somewhere out there in the near future. We have a couple really nice steel cents. These are very popular even today. They're a 1 year shot, kind of an oddball composition, and that's the big reason why everybody loves it. This one right here is one of the biggest varieties that you could locate on this coin, and it's going to be on a Denver minted example. This is a FS501 repunch mint mark. This is a huge one here, ladies and gentlemen. And if you're able to find one that's as nice as this one, and this one isn't even the nicest one that has ever sold, this one actually is a mid-state 66 through PCGS, then you're going to be talking about a coin that's going to be worth hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. Like this one here, sold for $1,482.63. At the same token, we do have a pristine example here. This time, an example, also at Denver, that's graded by CACG, the newest kid on the block that's kind of making waves out there for its ultra stringent grading standards. And it's probably high time that we do see a company come in that's as revered as CACG, to kind of make some policy changes when it comes to the grading standard. Now, it's a known fact that anything CACG graded, that is straight graded, these things sell for a lot of money. way more than a comparable PCGS or NGC graded coin. So we definitely have to, be mindful of the disparity between the two. This one is a mid-state 68. It's a bomb of a grade, a really pretty coin. And this one sold for $2,250. So yeah, that's a pretty healthy sale price on this one. And, I'm excited to see what the future holds for CACG as, the popularity of these holders are continuing to go up each and every single day. And this is a stunner. Very, very rarely do we see Lincoln Cents that have this much kind of Martian green toning to it. This is a 34D. Don't let the grade fool you. A typical mid-state 64 brown, non-toned 34D is not really an expensive coin. It's about $20 if you're lucky. But the toning right here gives it enough uniqueness that is the big reason why that it's on the list here today. And this one sold for $1,068.76. Again, the tone market is pretty unbelievable right now. And the final 1 cent denom coin on this week's list is the aforementioned Key Date 31S. It's one of the few coins that has a mintage under $1 million, all right? But a lot of these were indeed found very early on. People knew that they were going to be a very exclusive release at the time of circulation. And because of that, a lot of them did survive in mid-state condition. Like this one right here is one of the top end types as a 66 full red. So this is definitely a chaser right here. If you did come across one raw at a show, or maybe you found one in an old Gen 1 PCGS Rattler that looks like it could be deserving of a grade bump, you might want to entertain that. This one right here sold for $2,076.69. It's not the top grade, but once you get beyond 65 grade levels, these become expensive. Now we're on to nickels. We do have a few Jeffersons and we got a few Buffaloes. So a pretty nice mix here this week. How about a 1956 Jefferson nickel? This one is a proof, and it's one of the last years that you could obtain proof sets for around $40 or less. 56, there are quite a few of them that were made in nice, healthy numbers. So they are readily available. However, again, what we do know, the struggles of finding a deep cameo contrasted coin from this era could not be understated. It is incredibly tough, and you might end up pulling your hair out if you spend too much time doing it. I know people have searched through 100, 200 proof sets without finding a deep cameo coin in any of them. This one right here is a proof 69. Pretty big grade. It's a very clean coin. This one is actually just cameo, not deep cameo. So that just kind of tells us the difficulty of this type. This one right here ended up selling for $1,710. War nickels getting some love here this week. How about 45p with a little bit of original album toning, very light yellow, gold in there. Very popular for the same reason that people collect into high graded specimens of steel cents. This one, ladies and gentlemen, is a 67 with full steps. I mean, these are generally very well struck to begin with. You're not going to have too much difficulty finding one with full steps. But just the numerical grade, the cleanliness of the coin is where it's going to give you a little bit of a challenge. And as we all know, the coin community at large does like a good challenge. This one right here sold for $2,362.50. Here's a 39, but not just any ordinary 39. This is the doubled Monticello variety, also known as the FS801. 5 cents is incredibly doubled on this one as well. Just a great looking coin. PCGS graded this as a 66 plus. Incredibly handsome looking coin, and one of the big varieties for the nickel series. This one right here sold for $2,025. Now we're on to Buffaloes and the varieties. The varieties have been getting a lot of attention here to kick off 2024. Last week's Monday Market Report show had a good, healthy quantity of various varieties that we have never seen or talked about on any MMR. So a 38D over S is one of the penultimate over mint marks, is what we call these types, where it's two different mint mark types over another. The D over S in 38 is not only a popular one, but also a common one to look for too. You could essentially cherry pick one of these out there in the world today, whether it's at coin shop or show or even online. And there's also a myriad of different repunch mint marks as well, D over D, things like that. The specimen that's sold here this week is a 67 plus, and it's also got a CAC green bean as well. This one sold for $1,771.88. 37D, this time the three-legged buffalo, everybody's favorite, and a lot of people know about this one even if you're not in the hobby. And this is an incredible example. There's no shortage of three-legged buffalo varieties. A lot of them have been cherry-picked out over the years, so finding one that's just sitting in a random lot of buffalo nickels, yeah, that doesn't happen too often. This one right here, 64 grade. You can see the attribution on the label, and it's also got that CAC green sticker as well. And this one sold for $12,663. That is kind of the norm for a lot of mid-state graded buffalo nickels with the three legs. A 36D with 3.5 legs would be the only other one that would certainly usurp this one in value at this grade level. And 35S, not at all a rare date, but again, part of the challenge is looking for one that's in pristine condition. For the first time on the list this week, we have an NGC graded example. This one is a 67 with a CAC sticker on there, and this one sold for $2,306.25. San Francisco minted 1930s nickels are attainable in mid-state condition and raw. The only dates I would say you're going to have a little bit harder time are like 30S, 31S, and a few others. So, keep that in mind. And the final nickel, actually we have two of them. We have the beautiful 18 over 7 Denver Buffalo nickel. My goodness. This is a big one. And anytime you can find one of these with a full readable date, as you see here, and VF is going to be kind of like your grade to look for. Fine 15s are okay too. They're just not as meaty and attractive as far as details goes. This one is a 35 grade CAC stickered, and boy, I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall when someone had discovered this, maybe out of a bulk lot of Buffalo nickels. It's a really a cool coin to find, and unmistakable. You can actually see that bottom bar of the 7 go through the 8. I mean, it is very strong, guys. This one sold for $6,031.12. Again, for a VF35, that's a lot of money, guys. So make sure you're looking at every single 18D that you come across, and win big. And finally, of course, one of the biggest draws to the Buffalo nickels is the 13S Type 2 reverse, which features the buffalo on a flat mound. This is always a big one, and mid-state examples are constantly being pursued to the point where, just really nice examples don't pop up in the market that much, but we did have one here this week on Great Collections. This one is a mid-state 65. It does say Type 2 on the PCGS label. And ladies and gentlemen, how about $2,379.38? Not the top grade, but this is a huge collector grade example, even for, people with high-end lots of coins in their collection. All right, dimes, also impressive this week. We only had a couple, but this 51D is certainly one of the big highlights of the week, featuring just really beautiful kind of a dog dish of colors on the offers there. This one looks like it could have been a roll ender, seeing as how there's not too much color on the reverse. The grade matches the attire at 68 full split bands, just an incredibly well-struck example. This one sold for $2,643.75. And for the same reasons, this 1938 Mercury dime also makes the list. Again, toning is simply just on fire right now. Across the board, you know, from Lincoln cents all the way up to Silver Eagles. Silver Eagles have just blown up here recently, ladies and gents. We have a PCGS Mid-State 68 full bander here today. Beautiful one-sided toner, indicating that, you know, it's possibly a roll ender of some sort. And this one sold for $4,162.50. Good to see something like this that's not from the 40s. It's a little bit refreshing. And we're going to end things off on a nice little set of quarters. All right, so pay close attention as I talk about the Bicentennial coin you see here. This is actually the 40% silver quarter. Now, the market for these, for a raw example, is about $2.50, and that's it. And that's based wholly on the melt value of these. There are no 40% Kennedy, that's for sure, as far as the amount of silver that's in them. But this one is just a supreme graded piece. NGC gave this one a 69 grade, which is just insane. And this is just a testament to the popularity of the Drummer Boy coins, as this one sold for $5,918.75. Just amazing. You know, wow, couldn't even express how I'm feeling right now when I see this. And I've seen maybe 2 or 3 over the course of the last few years that have graded this high, and they are spectacular on the talking about how much they sell for. All right, so a lot of you may not be aware, but there's a pretty nice variety on the 1967 quarters. These are the special mint set types, and this is the doubled die reverse FS801. Okay, so yeah, make sure you're looking at the reverse of every one. You certainly don't want to skip this, as they are all very valuable. This one, PCGS graded a 68 grade, and a lot of them do grade 67, 68. It's just going to be a matter of finding that one lone example, and when you do, my goodness, you know, collectors are going to throw as much money as they possibly can for the grade at you. This one here is sold for $1,856.25. And, you know, much like the 66 Lincoln cent we saw at the beginning of the show, this one definitely deserves a mention, because guess what? They didn't make mint sets in 66. Nor did they make proof sets. They made special mint sets. And last time I checked, a lot of people did not save 66 in full rolls when they were released. They just did not exist. There's some that you can find out there. So it's not like you can buy a mint set like you can any other year from like the 70s or 80s and find a Gemmy in there. They were just non-existent. And because of that, we see a premium 66 come up on the marketplace maybe once a year, maybe, you know, once every 18 months. I mean, it's that infrequent. But Washington Quarter Registry has been longing for this coin to come up in auction, and that time is this past week. This one is a 68 grade. Also got a little QA bump as well on the sticker. Same as CAC, but for much more modern coins. This one sold for $3,836.25. Again, that is kind of the normal price for these. Same for 67 as well. Were any years that they only made special mint sets. And a couple older Washingtons to, you know, kind of wrap up here this week. We have a XD Brent Pogue Collection Provenance 36D Washington Quarter. Just a magnificent specimen. This one is a 67 plus CAC stickered as well. It's got the special sticker on there that's made for this provenance, which is one of the biggest in the industry. And it's got a lot of originality to it. And that's the big reason why that registry sets prefer these, is that they have a lot more staying power when that time comes to unload the inventory and stop the registry. This one sold for $8,724.38. And then finally, we have a 34D to wrap things up here this week. Another beautiful date. Very scarce and high grades. This one is a 66 grade with a CAC sticker. This one right here is quite tough. Don't let the date or mint mark fool you. Finding them in pristine condition are quite tough. This one right here, Great Collections did notate some toning on here. Very light blue pastel type toning. And this one sold for $5,137.88 to kind of wrap things up here on the Monday Market Report. Again, as always, this video is for entertainment purposes only. None of this is financial advice. Please do collect and grade responsibly. And that's it, guys. I'm your host, Sean. Again, thank you again for tuning in on this video. And again, my apologies for the raspiness. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I'm glad I was able to make it through on this one. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you haven't done so on my channel, all the extra support will go a long way to ensuring that I produce even better content in the near future. Thank you guys again. Enjoy the hobby, and I hope to see you on the next Whatnot auction. You guys take care. Have a great week.